Hey, friend. No, seriously, we need to have a talk.
Okay.
I get it. You know, life is like a roller coaster. It goes up and it goes down. You know what I'm saying? I get it. But it seems like you just be staying down.
Why we staying down there? Get up.
No, seriously, like get the fuck up.
Okay.
And if that's your situation, I may know why you down there for real.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Deb and Nina V Show.
I'm Deb.
And my name is Nina, right? So let's talk about this roller coaster. What's going on?
Yes. And it's gonna happen. You know, you're gonna go down. You're gonna have your down times.
It's life, yeah.
But if it gets to a point where you're staying down there, now we have to consider some things. You know, like sure. Maybe it's your environment.
Right.
Sure, maybe you have a lack of resources.
Okay.
Maybe you're still underage. You can't do nothing for yourself yet.
Right.
But you're of age, honey. What's the reason now?
What's the excuse? Well, what was the reason?
It probably was you.
Oof.
Sorry to break it to you.
Yeah.
But, you know, if you are in this situation where you just can't get back up, you're the reason.
Okay.
You're probably self-sabotaging, honestly.
Right. And we're gonna look at some of the lists here, the common list of maybe you potentially could be self-sabotaging. The first one is procrastination. Now, if you're one of those people like, oh yeah, I thrive, last minute, I do well, whatever. Okay.
Pressure.
Exactly. But we're talking about consistently here. Okay, once or twice is fine, but consistently procrastinating and doing that thing on that 11th hour, and then feeling that guilt about, okay, whether or not it's your best work, or, that feeling, that the anxiety you get about it too.
Overthinking.
Exactly. That is self-sabotaging, because if you trust yourself and that well-being of yourself, you're gonna get that work done out on time every single time. Okay, give yourself that. You owe yourself that.
Yes. And seriously, stop with the negative self-talk.
Huge.
Okay, I mean, if people aren't already beating you enough, why are you doing it to yourself too?
Right.
That's crazy.
Exactly.
That's just crazy. Like, stop. You can do these things. No, you're not a failure. You're not a loser. Okay, people aren't just born losers or winners. Come on. Like, it's your behaviors, it's your actions.
Okay.
So stop it. Believe in yourself a little more than that. All right?
Listen, if you're having fear of success, and I mean kind of like you're subconsciously afraid of, that you're not worthy of it, right? The lifestyle that comes with it, maybe even the glam and the news for those of you who are seeking that, and you're like, oh my goodness, maybe I'm not cut out to be for that, and you're sabotaging yourself that way. I mean, that is gonna be huge as well, because if you already know you're worthy and you already know you're talented, why not push yourself to get what you need to be done so we could see you on the big screens or whatever your goal is?
Come on, sis. You got this. Like, stop being so afraid of failure, because that's another reason why people self-sabotage.
Okay, they're going in like this, twinning them.
Like, it's gonna happen. It's not gonna work. But that's why you gotta try some stuff out.
Take some risk.
You can experiment a little bit. Who says you can't?
Okay, and you felt what? They're laughing at you, and
they're gonna laugh at you anyway. They're gonna find a reason to laugh at you.
Facts.
So why not just stop being afraid?
Okay, listen, and that's gonna lead to perfectionism, and I used to be guilty of that. Like, if you're changing careers, a new environment, or learning a new skill, and you're thinking, yeah, I'm gonna prepare. Okay, you're preparing. Damn. When you gonna be done preparing, sis? We get it, okay? You wanna sit there and you wanna make sure you're complete and whatnot, but life is not about being perfect. It's about getting started and putting yourself out there. Who cares what anybody else thinks, but just do it, okay? Because we're not gonna wait around until you're perfect, boo.
Right. Stop avoiding the responsibility. Because yes, with the success comes the action plan. You gotta do something. You can't just sit around and just be like, yeah, I'm gonna be successful one day.
Okay.
Just you wait and see. Okay. I know we all know that person. I'm gonna have a lot of money. Watch. We're gonna be watching forever, honey.
Let me turn this TV off. I ain't watching no more.
Like, take ownership of the decisions that you make.
Yes.
The actions. Like,
exactly.
With the reaction comes the action you took that got you there.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of people now in this new day and age, you're trying to bypass that with manifestation and like all of that is real, yes. But listen, God loves those who help themselves. You can't be out here wishing and wishing up on a store. Get to work.
I wish.
Get to work, okay? And after that, listen, we have the imposter syndrome. Now, you applied for that job, you got to where you needed to be, you're through that door, now you're feeling like a fraud. And you think everybody could read it on your big forehead.
You know what I'm
Fraud. Stop.
Scam artist.
Okay, you got here, and so what? You had to up-talk yourself. That's what life is about. You sell yourself because you know you trust yourself to deliver. So go ahead and deliver what you were selling, boo.
And stop prioritizing other people's needs, you people pleasers. Stop it. Did you know that's also self-sabotaging?
Yeah.
If you're not concerned about your needs and what you need to do, or if you even have the resources that you're giving to other people that you should be using for yourself, ooh, you are self-sabotaging.
Yeah.
Now you put yourself back, like behind zero, back before the beginning. Like,
Okay,
come on.
and taking care of everybody, and that's not the way to do it.
Yeah.
I know some people are like, but I love my friends, I love my family. That's great, but you cannot fill someone else's cup with a half-empty cup. Okay, so really focus on yourself, and that even applies to every aspect of life, like even motherhood, I guess. You know what I mean? Like, if you really don't take care of yourself, you cannot take care of those who are dependent on you.
Yep.
So check into that, okay? And the last one we have here is
Lack of boundaries.
all right, and that goes with that people pleasing.
Yes. You just don't know how to stop yourself from just giving up to their demands. And they're demanding too much from you. You know, that friend's probably toxic, by the way. Get rid of him or her. All right.
Look into that.
Because everyone should understand boundaries. And when it comes to asking for something, if you hear a no, probably the person couldn't do it.
Yeah.
You know, don't start guilt tripping them like, but you my friend.
Assuming.
Yeah.
You know, you never know what someone else is really going through. So if someone is setting that boundary around you, respect it. You know, they're giving you a new way to communicate with them so they can show up fully to you and that friendship and be present. So give them that respect.
Yes. And I know it's hard, guys. It can be really hard sometimes to really catch yourself in the act because self-sabotaging, we do that subconsciously. It is hidden in our fears. It is hidden in our, you know what I'm saying? Like, yes. So how can we decipher? How can we start figuring out where we are self-sabotaging?
Okay, and we're gonna give you some self-practical skills that you could do right now to help you catch yourself when you're in that environment. Okay, that mental space. And the first one is gonna be self-awareness. Okay, we've talked about this a lot of times already, but it's really knowing. You know, knowledge is power. Well, guess what? Applied knowledge is even more powerful. Start knowing your little habits of when you start falling into that. You know, like if you're a procrastinator and you know, oh snap, something is coming up that is due, give yourself plenty of time to get it done. Okay, try something new with that.
Yeah, seriously. And enough with the negative self-talk. Start to challenge it a little bit. Start to figure out, you know, why are you talking so negatively about yourself?
Okay, where are these thoughts coming from?
Remind yourself, if you need to look at your own resume to look at what you've done and accomplished, look at it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And a lot of those other things that people say they can do, they're just big words for small things, like knowing how to talk to people. Ooh, you can communicate. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, like really break it down and be like, no, I have these skills. You know what I'm saying? And then use these same skills and choose a fancier word for it. And look how good you look on resume, boo.
Okay, because you got here. All right, now you better stay here. As Lizzo said, okay, you're that bitch. And we're going to keep it at that, okay? So now we're going to, so another practical thing is setting realistic goals.
Yes.
Listen, okay, don't come from me. I love dreaming big, and I think everyone should dream big and have those huge goals, okay? But with that, it can be overwhelming.
Yes.
Especially if those big dreams are almost crippling you and you can't even take actions. What we're gonna do is break it down. I mean, okay, break that 12 months into 6 months, and then into 3. Then focus on your month you're looking at right now. The week you're even looking at. Set those realistic baby step goals, because at the end of the day, guess what? That consistency of taking that baby step is gonna lead you to that huge ass goal that you thought was overwhelming in the first place.
Period.
Do it.
And practice self-compassion. All right? The world is gonna beat you up. The boss is gonna beat you up. Your mom, your boyfriend, your sisters.
Oh, Lord. Everybody's trying to beat you up.
Everybody.
It seems
They're
like
just
that,
waiting
right?
for you to do one wrong thing. Ha! You loser. You a sucker.
Oh, my goodness.
Guess what? You'll be the only one to show compassion to yourself if no one else is willing to do it. You know? Like, you know what? I really tried today. I was overwhelmed, and despite how I was feeling, despite my flat tire, because no one's gonna care about that, sad to say, you know, like despite, you know, losing money and this darn ticket, I still showed up.
Okay.
If that's the best you could have done that day was show up, give yourself those props.
Okay.
All right?
You did that. And that, if that's all you did today, that's fine. Go back to bed. But at least you know you did that.
Yep. And
with that being said, seek support, you know? Now, that could come with friends, that could come with family. Now, if your circle, you know, what we were saying before, if your circle's trying to beat you up and you don't have time to get that new circle, well, then go for that professional help. Seek therapy.
Yep.
You know, talk to them about your problems and your self-sabotaging ways. If you're in a financial bind, okay, start doing mirror work, journaling, meditating, because that is gonna help you catch those negative self-talk that you know, that self-beating you're doing anyways.
And be careful of your environment, you know, because yes, while we like to add people who can support us, you know, by seeking, let's also focus on the people that are here right now in your support group, or hate group, because sometimes you can't tell the difference. Like, if they're talking negatively and trying to put you down, get rid of homie. Like, you don't need them.
You just got to go.
Go, like, to the left. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't need somebody that's gonna constantly add on to your already self-negative talks. All right? You sometimes do that enough for yourself. You don't need somebody else.
Right, okay? A pessimist don't need another pessimist.
No.
You just, get that together, boo. And the last part here is gonna be coming up with better coping mechanism. Okay, so that's gonna be like the most important step, as well as that self-awareness, because now is that applied knowledge, okay? So you see what you're doing wrong, you see what the habits and what all those negative patterns and life cycle is. Now change that, you know, challenge yourself to come up with a new mechanism, coping mechanism to help you get through it. If on the weekends, you know, to de-stress, you always go to the bar, you always do certain things, well, maybe this time you go for a hike, go for a walk, go swimming, you know, talk to that person. Change that pattern is gonna give you a new way to look at life and a new way to think outside the box.
And the big word you're saying here is change, okay? Which is another fear that people have. You can't be afraid of change when this world is constantly changing. Like, I'm surprised you don't need to go to a mental hospital at this point. Like, it's gonna happen.
Regardless,
you have to change, okay? And I get it. You are afraid of the unknown. You're afraid of taking risks. But life is full of risk. Even that boy you decided to date, you know what I'm saying? Or that girl you decided to date, that thing you bought, you thinking is like something, that's a risk. You know, even if the time span was shorter and what you like thought about this decision, it's still a risk you took. You know, and you didn't know whether it was gonna work for you or not, but you took the chance. That's what it's about.
Yes, putting yourself out there and taking that risk is gonna rewire your brain, and it's gonna give you that adrenaline rush and that confidence to know you can do this. And that's what we're looking for. Yes, you can.
Yes, you can, boo.
Yes, you can. Now, so like I said, right, this is life. Like, no one's perfect, and we may go through these cycles, but if this is constantly you, is what we're saying. If you're checking off these lists and it's constantly where you're at, then that is something that you should be dealing with and looking into, self-sabotaging. And listen, guys, like, if you've learned anything new, right, today, if we missed a step on like a known factor of, you know, how you self-sabotage, drop it down in the comments.
Absolutely. And, you know, things happen, all right? We all get down. What Cardi say? You get down 9, but you get up 10. Just make sure that last time you got the fuck up, all right?
And you stay there. No. Because listen, it's a roller coaster, right? You get back down, but you always get back up again.
Yes.
That's the point of this.
Exactly. And if you have not subscribed, please hit that bell. You know what I'm saying? Hit that like button. Because we do these videos every week. And you don't want to miss out.
No, you don't. Okay? Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.